But let's start with the NFL big signing. Supposedly he was going to the Cowboys or then the Chiefs. Then maybe who else was in the mix? The Jets. That's with Aaron Rodgers. But none of those places are going to be the landing spot for Odell Beckham Jr. Instead, he has signed a 1-year, $15 million fully guaranteed deal. It could go up to $18 million based on incentives. But Odell Beckham Jr. is joining the Ravens. And Rob, for the full context, because what a lot of people are, even more interested in rather than just OBJ signing with Baltimore is Lamar Jackson's reaction. Lamar Jackson seemed stoked. He seems hyped. He seems over the moon with joy to have Odell Beckham Jr. joining the squad. He posted a screenshot of those two FaceTiming each other. And then there are reports, and we saw pictures as well, of them hanging out at Prime 112. Rob, you probably been to that steakhouse in Miami.
Are you kidding? Of course I have, right on Miami Beach.
Right. And then they went to live on a nightclub in Miami, and kicked it all night there. So Lamar seems to be excited, to say the least, about his new teammate, or at least potential teammate. So, Rob, what do you make of all this?
My first thought was, man, is that all Odell could get? Was a 1-year deal with a team that doesn't have a quarterback in place. I guess he has the prove it. He has a prove it year. Show me, I guess, because nobody else. I guess the Jets had a chance to match that. He could have gone to New York.
Well, I don't know if he would have, he turned down the meeting with the Jets.
Well, I heard
so it was like,
I heard that he threw it out to them, and they were like, no, thank you.
Oh, really?
We won't match it. Rob G, is that the story, right?
So what are they?
That he pitched it to
what are the reports out there, Rob G?
That he pitched it to the Jets, and they said thank you, but no thanks.
Now, wasn't there a report earlier, at least, that he had turned down a meeting with them?
Rob G, jump in.
The report that I had read, I'll go find it again, was that because he had the offer in hand, and it was before his formal meeting with the Jets.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That they floated it out to him, and they're like, yeah, we're not even...
We're not interested in that.
So he canceled the meeting before it ever took place.
Oh, that's why he canceled it.
Right.
So maybe because I had heard about them canceling the meeting with the Jets, but I hadn't heard the other part about he had shown them what Baltimore was offering.
And I'm not mad. I mean, I'm not mad at Odell. I mean, he needs, like all the talk and all the stuff that was going on about these big deals you just mentioned, all the teams supposedly he was going to.
Out, remember, $20 million was his number.
Exactly. And that, it was going to be a multi-year deal, and people were going to be in a bidding war for him and all that. And, to go to Baltimore for 1 year, and, he's got to reestablish his career, and especially without having, for sure, Lamar, in the fold is, no matter what Lamar's reaction is, he's not in the fold yet, and it just seems like it's in what's the right word? An underwhelming entrance back into the NFL as far as for Odell. It just seems underwhelming to me.
Well, I think there are two stories here. I think there is Odell's situation and why he signed with Baltimore, and then there's Lamar's reaction to it and what this means going forward for Lamar and the Ravens. So the first part of this, Rob, Odell, I ain't surprised. Are you, like, when he was throwing out $20 million?
No,
I'm like,
we're not
really?
surprised, but I'm just saying,
$20 million from?
I'm saying if you remember the whole tour and going around and but
remember also there were no numbers talked about then. Like, that was Odell, and teams entertaining really Jerry Jones, making a big deal out of it, and Odell making a big deal out of it. But Rob, I'm sure the Jets were like, what? Like, you're not going to be our number one receiver. You're probably not even going to be our number two receiver. We're definitely not paying $15 million for a third receiver.
Right.
who would have been, what did Lazard get? He got 3 years, 33. So he'd have basically been their highest paid receiver because Wilson's still a rookie or, second year now.
Right.
And then the Chiefs, Rob, I mean, I don't know who their number one receiver is other than Travis Kelce, but I mean, as far as
but they weren't paying that.
No, because they paid Juju $9 million. They really didn't even have a number one last year, and they won the Super Bowl. So they're not looking to do that. And then Dallas as well. They're not paying that for a guy that would have been their second or third receiver as well. So, Rob, OBJ, I mean, people can try to paint it how they won. And like I said, the story I'd heard was just that he canceled the meeting with the Jets, and they were even talking about it on TV like that, without the part about him showing them the contract. He took the money, and I'm not mad at him at all. It could have been you or me quarterbacking the team. He wanted the loot, and I get it. Rob, he's 30 years old. He's injury prone, to say the least, and he's already won a Super Bowl. First of all, wide receivers, Rob, they aren't judged on Super Bowls like quarterbacks, right? So he's won a Super Bowl. Yes, that's great, and he was great in it until he got hurt. But that doesn't mean it might, for a quarterback, it might mean, he might make the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's different for receivers. So for him, I honestly believe, Rob, his number one goal should have been, let me go get the money. And hopefully for him, he can establish himself, have a really good year, and then going forward, he can get another longer-term deal. What is your take on Lamar? What do you think this means for him, and how you think he's looking at this?
I don't think it has anything to do with him, to be honest. Bringing in a receiver, if you don't make the quarterback happy and he doesn't get what he's looking for, I don't care who they sign. I mean, it'll be nice if once I get there, but until he gets signed or you satisfy him. I mean, I think he's probably friendly with Odell, so of course you want to yuck it up and feel good about it, and you're not holding it against Odell. You know what I mean? That he signed with the Ravens, so you're not holding it against him. But I don't know how that would affect him or make him want to, get like, oh wow, they gave Odell. Well, you could have given me that $15 million and got the $2 million to $215, Chris. Like seriously.
Right. No, for real.
You just gave him 15 guaranteed. Right. That could have gone in my pot that I'm asking for. I'm just.
I mean, I do think I think you make a good point that. I mean, if they're friends or
right, you're not.
I don't even know how great a friend.
But you know what I'm saying. If you would be happy for somebody,
you're gonna be cool. You're gonna be happy for him. Also, you don't want to be rude too,
right?
They probably have some sort of relationship. You know how it is, Rob. Bottom line is they're both superstars or celebrity athletes, right. And so it's natural to kind of hang out. Especially he's coming to the team you've been on. Wide receiver, quarterback. So if Odell kind of puts it out there,
and you're still a Raven until Chris, you're not. You know what I mean? Like even though you're in flux with the organization, you're still a Raven. That's what you are.
Well, I think the one thing that is clear, and I can't remember what your take on it was, Rob. My take has always been the door is still open. I mean, okay, he requested a trade. So what? So did Kevin Durant. And he was going to be back.
Right.
LeBron James went back to Cleveland after the owner called him a coward. It's all business.
Aaron Rodgers hasn't been traded yet either.
Right.
You know what I mean? We can sit here all day and talk, Chris.
Right.
He's still a Packer.
I think the door is still very much open. Now, whether or not they get to a long-term deal remains to be seen. But the way, I will say this, Rob, the way Lamar's reacted, it looks like he will play on that franchise tag. I would tend to believe that he is going to play on that franchise tag if he doesn't get a longer-term deal. The interesting thing, Rob, now I'm looking after the draft for Lamar. I don't think he's going to get any offers before the draft. After the draft, when the smoke clears, maybe some teams didn't get the quarterback they thought or wanted, that's when it'll be interesting to see, does anyone else make an offer? Because I think the Ravens, part of their thinking too, Rob, is, well, let's let Lamar see what the market is. And if the market isn't strong or he doesn't even get another offer, then I think that could be part of their plan too. And it would be interesting. Would he, would they end up signing a long-term deal, or would he just play on the franchise tag? But I do think that looks like, this seems to me a strong indication at the very least he would play on the tag.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced, but I know. But the point you're making is fair, because if he really feels like he doesn't want to be a part of it, or he doesn't feel like they've respected him in this thing, he could just say, "I'm not going to do it." I mean, I hear you. I think because of the way the NFL is run and the way players are, you're probably more likely, because most people don't don't stand up or fight against the league. Most don't, because of just the nature of it and how few years you play.
Right.
But I'm not convinced yet that he could not. He might decide that that's nice, but I'm not doing it. I'm not giving in. And time will tell. We'll have to wait to see on that. But your point is well taken.